Hey everyone, glad you made it back. I've been living with the Onkyo TX-RZ70 for a while now, and this is one of those components that quietly takes over your whole home theater experience in the best way possible. If you're someone who doesn't settle for good enough, someone who actually hears the difference between flat audio and a system that feels alive, then you already know you're not browsing for fun. You're searching for the piece that finally pulls your setup into that top-tier zone you've been chasing. Before we dig in, go ahead and check the link in the description to see the current price in stock. These high-end receivers tend to shift quickly. My upgrade moment was almost embarrassing. I'd been running an older mid-range AVR for years, telling myself it was fine. But deep down, I knew I was missing out. Movies sounded compressed, Atmos felt fake, and heavy music tracks just didn't have the weight they deserved. When I swapped it out for the TX-RZ70, the difference hit me in seconds. It felt like someone had lifted a blanket off my speakers. Suddenly everything had detail, space, and that clean dynamic punch you can't get with a weaker unit. Once you hear it, you never want to go backwards. Daily use is where this thing surprised me the most. The 140 watts per channel aren't just numbers, they translate to effortlessness. You can push your system hard during an action-heavy movie night, or keep it subtle during late-night listening, and the clarity stays locked in. Dirac Live right out of the box is a game-changer too. It tightens your bass, cleans up reflections, and turns your room into a controlled environment where every speaker performs like it should. Atmos and THX movies feel huge. Height effects glide overhead instead of popping randomly. Rear imaging becomes precise. You stop hearing speakers and start hearing an actual scene taking shape around you. And if you're using Sonos in other rooms, the integration is shockingly smooth. It feels like your whole house becomes one connected audio ecosystem. If you've been eyeing this model for a while, it might be worth checking the listing again mid-video. Prices and bundles on premium receivers don't always stay steady. Now, some people hesitate because a receiver like this can feel intimidating. But honestly, this is the one you buy so you stop upgrading every 2 years. This is the one that eliminates weak links. Once you step into RZ70 territory, everything else feels like a downgrade, one you'd regret the moment you start comparing specs again. Owning a flagship Onkyo unit brings a certain confidence too. You know you're driving your speakers the way they're meant to be driven. You know your system isn't the bottleneck anymore. It's the kind of upgrade where you immediately feel proud every time you sit down to watch something. Pros: massive, clean power that makes speakers come alive. Dirac Live transforms your room into a true theater space. Atmos performance feels three-dimensional and cinematic. Future-proof connectivity for a long-term setup. Premium flagship build that feels serious and substantial. Cons: large chassis requires real space in your rack. Setup options can be overwhelming for beginners if you've been stuck comparing models, refreshing spec sheets, or trying to talk yourself into cheaper alternatives. This is your sign to stop the loop. You already know this is the level you want. Don't drag the decision out until you're back to square one again. Take a moment, check the price and availability below, and if the deal looks right, grab the Onkyo TX-RZ70 while it's still in stock. This is the upgrade you'll be glad you didn't postpone.